Morning, guys. Today is International World Yoga Day or something. Not that it matters.
Nice.
I'm saying every day is Yoga Day, which it is. Every day doesn't have to be Asana Day, but every day is Yoga Day. Just come down to sit and start. We'll have a bit of a different class today. Same stuff, but done in a bit of a different way. So let's see how that goes. We'll start with our breathing as usual. Just ground yourself down on your sit bones nice and evenly. So making sure you're sitting evenly is an important part of the practice because we tend to be quite unilateral in most of the sitting things we do, whether it's driving or the computer, you might be using your hand as the gears, or you might be using your hand as the mouse. So we tend to try and rotate to facilitate that quite a bit. So making sure we're sitting evenly is an important aspect. So let's try and do that for sure. You might need to use your stomach muscles to make sure that you are sitting evenly, which is fine. And drop your hips open, knees to the side. Face the palms out, turning the palms from the shoulders. So moving the whole arm to open out. And then just inhaling and exhaling. Not doing too much with the breath, just observe. So watch the air in and out of your nostrils. And then let's move into our full yogic breath. So inhaling into the belly, filling the ribs, and up to the collarbones, and then exhaling in the same sequence. Really concentrate on filling that tank. Let's start to lengthen the exhale now, breathing in for 4 and exhaling for 6, keeping building on that breath, belly, ribs, collar. And let's exhale for 8 now. Pull up the pelvic floor muscles, pull in the muscles under your belly button. And then let's drop the chin to the chest for Ujjayi breathing 5 rounds. If you are on an empty stomach, you haven't had breakfast, that's good. If you have, maybe avoid this one, keep doing the Ujjayi. But what we're going to do is the Agnisara. So exhale fully, and we're going to do like Kapalabhati. We're going to pump the stomach, maybe about 10 rounds. We'll do it twice. That's all we're going to do after a full exhale. So we're not inhaling as we do it. We're just full exhaling, holding the breath out, and then pumping the stomach. So 2 rounds of 10. If you've not eaten anything this morning, you grab something, that's fine. But if you haven't eaten anything this morning, let's do that. If you have eaten something this morning and your stomach's a bit full, then maybe continue on with the Ujjayi until we go into Kapalabhati. So exhale fully. And pump the belly. Exhale more and inhale. So even though you exhale fully, you'll notice that after the pumps, you still have air to let out. So one more time, exhale fully. And pump. Exhale and inhale. And then we're moving to our Kapalabhati breathing. We have our own breathing sequence. So let's take a round of 18, 24, and then move up to 36 on the third round. In your own time, don't forget the recovery rhythm. Inhale and begin. Bring your chins back up to level plane. And let's come off the blocks or whatever you might be sitting on. So Jen, you've got your foam roller with you, right? Yeah, good. And let's come onto the hands and knees, starting off with our hat and thumb. So again, really taking plenty of attention to that Hasta Bandha, really gripping that mat tightly, rolling the shoulders back to start with into the sockets, and then we're going to feel as if somebody's walking along your vertebral column, and each vertebrae, like a suspension bridge, is going to move individually. Okay, so that's the kind of concentration I want you to bring to this. Inhale. Let go of the front side of the body as you inhale. And do the opposite, let go of the back as you exhale into cat. Do 3 or 5 rounds, depending on how quickly you do it. So let's come back into a neutral spine. And let's take the hands down onto the elbows, move them slightly forward and come down onto the elbows. And we'll do the same thing, just 3 rounds, but focusing on the upper back piece. So inhaling into the cat, and how rather, and exhaling into cat. Inhale. Roll the shoulders back, drop the chest towards the mat, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And come back. We're going to our bird dog now. So moving the right leg back, pressing it down, activating the glutes, and lifting, roping it up. Pointing those toes down to 6 o'clock. And then lifting. Coming down, and on the other side. And come back down. Do a dog peeing exercise, and lift up 3 times. And on the other side, 5 times. And let's come to lie down on the side. Elbow down, elbow directly beneath the shoulders, in line with the hips, ankles in line with the hips as well. So your knees are in a kind of a 90-degree bend. Lifting up into a side plank, so straight from shoulders to knees. Weight is more in the feet than the elbow. Elbow is just for balance. And then lift into clench. Pushing up through the bottom hip. Coming down. And let's go into our abduction. Abduction first. Lead with the heel as you lift. 8 reps. And then 8 reps on abductions. You are lifting the bottom leg, flex foot, and lift. Good. Moving on to the other side now. Alignment first. Check your elbows, hips, and ankles are in the same line. And pushing down to the knees, lift up. And planche. Pushing down through that bottom knee. There we'll come the sideline work. So turn that heel out first and then lift. Try and lift from the glutes rather than the hip. And then coming to adduction. And back onto hands and knees. You take the leg out. Favorite hip version. Turning it in. Dropping the hip. Making sure the hip is not up or out here. Really bring it back in. Make sure you're evenly on both hands. That's a good test. Pressing down. Lift up all the muscles on the leg as we lift up. Trying not to rotate the hip. And then let's rock back and forth. Stretching those adductors, waking them up. And the adductors. Press the leg down into the and on the other side, foot in line with the knee, dropping the hip, squeeze the muscles as we lift. And rock back and forth. So come into this kneeling position. And then let's take the right leg out this way. So your heel and knee are in the same line. Your back foot is tucked. You're just going to lean into that right leg and come back up. So make sure that leg is 90 degrees to start. Hip turn forward, so you're nice and square, not out to the side. And let's go on the other side. Getting that 90-degree bend first, and then the heel in line with the knee. And Nice square hips, so your knee is moving outwards towards the outside of your foot, and your hips are moving square, just laterally shifting those. And come back. Let's move into our shoulders slightly, doing our shoulder cars. So making those rectangles, you know how to do it now. Press down, nice strong Hastabandha. Lock out the elbows just for this. Pull back into the sockets, and let's take our rectangles. Really drawing back, waking up the muscles on the bottom side of your shoulder. Shoulder good. Try not to move the hands. Nice strong Hastabandha. And let's go the other way. And come back to neutral. Let's take a nice wide-legged stance now on the wide knees rather, back the big toes touching, and coming into a child pose, but we're working the shoulders still, walking the shoulders out into a nice active child pose, walking the hands out rather. Head to the floor if it reaches, if it doesn't, just keep it in between the biceps. And pressing down the hands, again, strong Hastabandha, but pressing the hands down into the mat. As if you're trying to submerge to basketballs in a swimming pool. Just really press down. Shoulders rotate away from the ears. Keep that press happening as you lengthen your spine down towards your heels. Neck nice and free because you're rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the work happening in the bottom of that shoulder blade. That's what your downward dog should feel like. Okay, let's come back up. Let's roll onto our backs. From here, bringing the right knee in, pressing away, waking up that hip flexor, but making sure that we're pressing the tailbone into the mat. Remember, it's the point of the tailbone and not the sacral plate. Lifting up the muscles on that left leg, squeeze the glute on as we lift up. Pressing down through the foot. Come back down as you push that leg out with your left hand now. Working on those adductors, inner leg muscles, and hip flexors in a different plane. Let's come back into the other leg, left leg this time. Push it away. Press that tailbone into the mat. So your tailbone is going down, the knee is coming up. That's what will activate that hip flexor muscle. Lift up the muscles on the right leg, squeeze the glute on as you lift up. You won't get as much lift as a bridge, which is fine. Coming down and pressing that right hand into the thigh, giving those adductors some work in a different way. Good. Coming to tabletop. And let's Lift the hands, press it into the knees, and lift the legs alternately 5 times, nerve rise. Keep the stomach working because of the resistance between your arms and knees. Both legs up to the ceiling, palms to the floor. Lift the feet towards your face, tailbone towards the floor. From here, begin with the left leg as we take alternate legs down and up. 5 times on each side. Go nice and slow. Feel the extension as you go down in your back muscles as well. And under. Straighten the legs out. Take the arms behind your heads. Thumbs touching the floor. Now lift the thumbs and the upper body. Look towards your toes. Point the toes. Bring the belly into the spine. And we lift up. Tuck the tail. And under. Good work, guys. Roll over. And actually, let's take one more. So come into this bent-legged position. Take the hands, place your fingertips on your thighs, and just curl up. They're curling up in a C curve, each vertebrae one by one off the mat, and come up until you're touching your palms on your knees. Pressing down strongly with the legs, belly into thighs, coming up a little further, and rolling down. One more time. Fingertips to thighs, lifting up, fingertips to knees, arms to the knees, lift it further if you can, and good. Let's come up now, and what better way to start off International Yoga Day than with a moving namaste. So let's come into our favorite wide-legged stand. Nice and wide feet. Good base. Lift the muscles, the legs up. You've woken up your hips, you've woken up your abdominals, you've woken up your shoulders and your upper back. So let's really bring all of those into play and move them optimally in this pose, in these poses. So again, just rock back and forth, left to right, and see that you're standing evenly on both feet. And try to keep that evenness as you go down without coming forward with the torso. Keep the torso straight, and let's go down into our squat. Holding on the outside of the mat. That torso up there, Jim, that's good. Good. See if you can relax your calves. Bring the heels a little further down. Half length is a big restriction in our depth of our squat, so have a think about that. Use that foam roller on your calves. Coming in to full malasana. So I said we're going to do something different. What we're going to do different is that we're going to hold for 5 breaths today. Been doing quite a few faster flow classes because I think that format works better in this Zoom environment. But let's just try something a little different. Arms to the floor and up into high heels. Back nice and straight. Focus your energy not on any pain or discomfort you might be feeling, but onto the breath that's in and out of your belly. And let's come down. Virasana prep. Heels up at 12 o'clock. Toe pads pressing into the mat. Try and relax the belly, tuck the tail out. Rolling the shoulders back, so if they're here, roll them back. Arms active. And let's come into Virasana proper. So Jen, if you want to use your foam roller, keep them on your heels and you get sit in Virasana. So it's nice Virasana Altaf, except I want you to come into a cat back, tuck that tail as much as possible. A cow back. Tuck that tail out. Evenly on both feet if we can. And coming back up. Squeezing the knees together as we come into this Virasana prep again. 5 rings. Try and release the belly, tuck the tail up. And coming back, high heels go. And coming down into Malasana again. Your heels maybe a little further in, that's okay for the moment. Breaststroke, pull the hands as you come back. Open the shoulders, swing the bum in between the heels, and use this time to widen the feet and place them hip width apart. Opening the shoulders, the weight is on your fingertips, leading with your shoulders, pressing down through that shoulder girdle. Don't skimp on this. And then bend the elbows, bring the bum down. Keep the belly onto the thighs as far as possible. Squeeze the knees together as you come up. Shoulders into the sockets. Imagine someone's pushing you from behind towards your thighs. Squeezing thighs together, they're inside your elbows. Here we go. Feet together, knees together, lift up, and then coming down into your Dandasana. Lift those quadriceps up, hands by the face. Not using the hands as you sit nice and straight. Open the shoulders, drop the chin towards the chest. Those quadriceps lifted. Then bring the right leg back. And let's lift to a single leg lift, working on those hip flexors again, pulling the belly into the thighs, straightening the back as you lift up. Right times or 6 times, and on the other side. Push down with the foot to lift the chest, straight back as you lift up. And straight back forward. We come into hook sitting and take some 99 bends. So now that we're 3/4 of the way through our squat sequence, let's try that test again that we did on Saturday. So bring that one of those legs 90 and the other leg to 90 as well. Make sure that both legs are in a nice even 90-degree angle. Then we take the hands up here to the side and bring them over the front and back. And over and back. So you tend to maybe fall out of one side, not maintain that balance, but that's the test that we're doing to make sure that things get easier as we go along. So change legs this time. So there's nothing that we want to really achieve from that, except achieving more ease in how we do that test. Thanks, Jim, for sending this across to me, but means you're just going to have to do it more. Just feel what's working in your hips, where the restrictions are in your flexibility, in your trunk, what's going on. And come back into hook sitting. So if you find it easy on one side, just observe that. Let's try and figure out why. Back into hook sitting and hands up. Imagine you're being pressed into your thighs. Hands back and lifting up. Don't bring the bum forward. Just imagine the bum is a dead weight. Lifting up. Sliding forward. Spread the toes. Press down evenly through both feet as you come into your balasana. Nice straight back here. Open chest. And flow as you open the shoulders again. Spread evenly through both feet as you lift to parallel. Adjust those feet nice and flat and firm. Wide. Pull the muscles up. Hug them onto your glutes as you come up. Nice work. And come down. Good. So feel the difference when we are holding poses for the recommended 5 reps. You've been doing them and you're getting better at them, but when you hold the pose, that's when you can really go a little deeper. Rolling those shoulders back, belly into the spine, tucking the tail down slightly in Tadasana, nice active arms, and let's open through into Uttanasana. Arms touching as we tip over to the left side today. Parshva. So lifting up rather than sideways, looking slightly towards the right arm and balancing evenly through both feet. Coming back to center and then going to the right, straight arms if you can, pressing down to the left foot and tipping over to the right side, feeling a beautiful stretch on the left side of the body, but lengthening the right side as much as possible also. Coming back to center, back to the front, touch and exhale, forward. Bend the knees if you need to, first forward bend, inhale, half forward. Exhale, full forward fold, and palms lift through. Let's take that right leg. So front right leg coming back. You just make sure you got those angles, so the back knee is 90 degrees or more. And we'll just shift the hips forward. Shift the hips forward until we're nicely in that front leg. And then come into crescent lunge. Pull, open the chest and breathe. Trying to lengthen with each exhale, take your hands up. With each exhale, sink the hips down. Coming back down, left leg goes down dog, 5 breaths. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears like we did in the child pose, pressing down through the hands, pushing the mat away from you, relaxing the front body, lengthening the front body, tucking the tail up to the sky. Your knees can bend if you need. Strong through the feet. Rolling into a plank. Hold this plank for a couple of breaths. Knees down, arch the back, gently lower down chest and chin. Sliding now into the cobra, sliding forward, not backwards. Pressing down to the feet, elbows together. Hold for 5 breaths. And pushing back, down, facing up. Right leg up to the ceiling. Stepping forward. Get those angles right. Flatten the back foot and then sink into that front leg. Press down through the back foot. So you're really pressing down like doing the downstroke of a freestyle kick. And pressing down to the front foot as you come up into crescent lunge. 5 breaths. Inhale, lengthen the torso. Exhale, drop the hips. Back down. And left leg mindfully comes forward. Up forward. Forward. Lift up the quads. Straighten the back. Open the chest. Shoulders back. And pull forward, pull, shoulders back, belly on the thighs. And inhale up, pressing down through both feet evenly. Palms touch, back to the palms touch, and up. Tadasana. Let's pull this Tadasana for 5 breaths also. Roll the arms open, inhale up. Go to the right side now. Inhaling, Ashwatthana. Pressing down to the left foot. Hips are nice and even, not one lifted higher than the other. Lengthening both sides of the body. Back up to the left. Pressing down through both feet even. Shoulders away from the ears, looking slightly towards the right arm. Come back to the center, back of the palms touch, hold forward. Keep the palm over the knees. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Arms to the floor, left leg. Feet hip width apart. As you bring the knee down, open the chest in that low lunge. Find the balance as you then take the hands back and come up into your crescent. Inhale, lengthen through the front body. Exhale, sink the hip. Find the depth in the stools. And back down. Right leg up. Down dog. If you like, you can turn your heels very slightly outwards. See if that helps your back to lengthen a bit more. And for the front body, for the belly, to relax. Rolling into a plank. Knees down. Chest and chin down. Slide into cobra. Elbows in towards and pushing back. Downward facing. Move slowly and deliberately. Feel the difference between this and a faster flow. Left leg up. Second it forward. Knee down. Come into that low lunge first. Find your balance. Then take the hands back and press up. Inhaling up, exhale, sink. Inhale up, exhale, sink. Inhale up, exhale, sink into that front leg. Keep that back leg rotating inwards. Don't let it rotate out. Bring back down. Mindfully bring that right leg forward. Inhale hard. Exhale full. Shoulders back with the quads. Very relaxed. Spine hangs open. Drop the head steps. Drop the heads towards the feet. Inhale. Back of the palms touch. Down to Tadasana. Hold this Tadasana for 5 breaths. Checking that you're standing evenly through both feet. And inhale up. Back of the palms touch and fold forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Palms to the floor. Let's take both legs back. Down dog. From this down dog, lift the right leg up to the ceiling. Step forward onto the midline and ground the back heel. Make sure your front leg is at 90 degrees. Back leg arch is through the front leg heel and then coming up into warrior number 2. Holding 5 breaths, tucking the tail, trying to achieve that front leg 90, pressing down through the hands, lifting the shoulder girdles. Hips and shoulders in one line. Tucking the tail ever so slightly. Remember when we practice at class, how you're leaning into the wall, that's how you should try to be. And halfway the hands down. Right leg back, down. Take your vinyasa. And push back, down. Left leg up. Round it, in front, midline. And 90 degrees. Get that 90-degree bend in the knee before you go on. Stretch that back leg out, press it into the mat. Remember how we take the leg out to the side in the warm-up exercise? That's kind of how you should press it down. Coming up, cartwheel. So if you're leaning forward, lean back, shoulders and hips in the same line. Hips turn nice and square. Hold for 5. Feel downwards, downward facing dog. Rolling into a plank. Bringing those hips level with the shoulders or slightly lower. Tucking the tail, heels back, shoulders above the wrists. Pull the belly into the spine. Hold 5 breaths. Pressing the thumbs into the throat. Need not press the thumbs strongly. Rolling the shoulders into the sockets. And down into downward facing dog. Taking your vinyasa. Pressing back into down dog. Walking both feet forward. Behind the wrists. And holding on to the big toes. Belly to thigh, so bend the knees and really straighten that back. Try to come into a straight back here. Drop the head and then lift the hips as much as your hamstrings will allow. Keeping the belly on the thighs. That's good, Jian. Roll those shoulders out, elbows towards your knees. And try to swing your bum a little bit further forward so they're over your heels. Bring it to swing forward. Drop the head. Drop the head. Yeah. Bend the knees a little more and move your weight to the front of the feet. Inhale into the half forward fold. And we'll come down to 6 through a squat. And go back out. And from here, we'll take the leg onto the inside, the right leg onto the inside of either the right thigh or the left thigh, or in between, wherever is comfortable. And from there, we're lifting up and twisting towards that straight leg. So this twist is important, guys. You want to keep that knee as far down on the floor as possible, so you're not twisting like this. Keep that down and twist over. This is what's going to help us with those 90-90 exercises. Bring both hands on either side of the knee. Straighten the back. And let's go as far forward as we can without question marking the back. We're keeping that knee, that bent knee, on the floor. That's a priority because that's the foundation. Worry about how far forward we come much later as we keep that foundation strong through the left quadricep. Lift it up. That will allow us to twist further as well as go forward more. So go as far forward as you will. And let's hold for 5 breaths. Please make sure you're where you're comfortable, not straining here. I can't tell from here, guys, so you really have to do yourselves a favor and not push too far. Bring your hands to the floor and slide back on Janu Sirsasana. Take that knee, the bent knee, and lift it up. Close the hip and straighten that leg, coming into Dandasana. Hold this Dandasana for 3 breaths. And then let's take that left knee out. Placing it on the floor and the heel into the thigh. So again, we're sitting up nice and straight. So see how straight the back needs to be. And then twisting over, keeping that knee on the floor. From there, hands to opposite sides of the knee. Stay here if this is where you can get to. That's perfectly okay. You're trying to keep that knee on the floor, lifting the quad, hands by the knees, even. Perfectly okay to stay here. You can hold on to your shin. You can hold on to your ankle. If you're able, hold on to the foot. 5 breaths. And coming slowly out. Close that knee. And we'll come into Dandasana again. Taking your hands back in this Dandasana. Remember how we went into the squat, into the hook sitting. So open the shoulders here. Really open them out. Chest exaggeratedly out like a cow back. And then press the heels down into the mat. As soon as you press the heels down into the mat, you should feel the whole leg activate. The glutes especially. Now relax the front body. So this part, I want you to just relax. Okay? Nothing going on there. You don't want to hold this way. You're relaxed. Really opening that front body, making you quite vulnerable almost. You're working though from your waist to your heels. Pressing down and lift that. Just look towards your toes and stay there. In this posture of Uttanasana, Urdhva rotating the feet towards each other, big toes touching, and looking towards your toes, nice and even through the hips. Lifting up through the glutes by pressing the heel. Relaxing the front body, lift up a little more as you relax the front. And then gently coming down. Good. From here, we're going to take that right leg, place it over the left knee, and then take the left hand and grab that right knee, looking over towards your right shoulder. If you can take that elbow outside of your knee, do so. And then let's come out and twist to the other side. Take right hand and lift. So inhaling and lifting up through the spine, exhaling, rotating a little bit. and coming back out, straightening the legs, and then let's come into our Baddha Konasana. To open the feet this time, like you're reading a book, dropping the knees down towards the floor, and then curving the back. So you always work on a straight back here when you're holding the bottom of the foot. This one's a little different, but curving that back and trying to create as much space. You're really trying to open out the space in between those verticals. Tailbone into the floor, moving the head far away from the tailbone as you can. Elbows into the inner thighs, shoulders back, and sitting evenly on the sit. And gently coming out of Baddha Konasana. Use your hands to come back to sit in your Dandasana. So from here, we're just going to go into a bridge, curving back, curling the feet back, and coming down. Feet hip width apart, knees slightly further in from the hips, tucking the tail, pushing down with the hands, pushing the triceps on the back of the shoulders into the mat as you tuck the tail and weight. Squeezing those glutes, pressing down through both feet evenly. And then gently coming down. Bring the knees into the chest and roll up across the knees, across the legs rather. Come over onto your front. So since it's a morning, just activate those backs a little. So take those hands out. Again, pressing down into the mat for the flow, bending the knees. Flex the feet as if you're holding a tray on the soles of your feet. Squeezing the knees in towards each other by tucking the tail and lifting the knees off the mat. My legs are heavy, so I don't really lift a lot. But coming in this way and up into Makarasana. 4 to 5 minutes. And coming down. Let's work as top pose, holding it in. From there, we're going to bring the big toes towards each other, knees wide, reach back, Lift up the chest, reach back evenly, and grab on to those ankles. Then walk the feet in, big toes touch, and kick back into the hands as you come into Dhanurasana, bow pose. If you can, once you've held this for 5 breaths, look to the right and tip over onto the right side. Head looks straight forward and same pose on your right side. Look to the left as you come back to the center, and then look to the left as you go over onto the left side. And come back. And let go evenly. Don't slingshot the legs as you come out of the pose and roll over onto your backs. And pull your knees in towards your armpits. Roll from side to side, forward and back. Take your feet down, coming to a Baddha Konasana with your feet together, and just hold that Supta Baddha Konasana for about 5 breaths. Arms open, facing up to the sky. Allowing the knees to relax down, try not to hold on to it. Feeling some sensations, breathe into them, let them pass. After about 5 breaths, let's bring the knees in together. Use your hands to help you. Slide them forward. Feet hip width apart as you flop those toes to the side. Wiggle your tailbone down to the heels. Lengthen out as much as possible. And feel nice and heavy in your Shavasana. Again, you're trying to lengthen that spine as much as possible. So tucking the chin slightly, shoulders back, and nestle the spine into the mat. Letting go through the front of the hips. Allowing the breath to flow deep into your abdomen. Allowing the diaphragm to relax. Just move up and down. Gently bring some movement back to your fingers and your toes, your hands and the feet, and the hips and shoulders. Roll over onto your right side, bending the knees, taking a couple of breaths in that position, and using your left hand to push yourselves up to sit. Sit up nice and straight. See how the body feels compared to when you started. Just make a comparison, don't make a judgment. So the difference is that you don't think, oh, I felt better when I started, I feel worse now, or I feel better now, I felt terrible earlier. Try not to make those quantitative, qualitative judgments. Just think, okay, this is how I feel now. That is how I felt then. It's different. Let's close the eyes and take some alternate nostril breathing. Always a good pranayama to do at the start of the day. Bringing your thumb to the right side of the nose and the ring finger and the little finger onto the left side of the nose. Inhale deeply. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale both. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Bring your palm down and let's drop the chin to the chest. Pull up the two bandhas at the bottom and then let's take 5 Ujjayi breaths. Bring your palms together in front of your chest, lift the chin to level plane, and let's take one Om to close the practice. Inhale deeply. I honor the place within you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place within you which is a light of love, truth, and of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry I overran a little bit today, but hope you enjoyed the holding class. We haven't done those in a while. So we'll see you all next time. Happy International Yoga Day. Spread the word.
Same to you, Senator.
Sorry?
Thanks.
Same to you, Machan.
Thank you. Spread the word and let's class soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. See you guys.